Yesterday, Jalen Rose had Stephen A. all fired up about the resumption of the NBA schedule. But Stephen A., when you hear this timeline, what do you think?
Well, first of all, let me be in the interest of full disclosure. I'll take any damn thing I can get. When ESPN had to resort to putting horse over the airwaves, I'll take anything I can get from these professional athletes. Let me be good. Beggars can't be choosy, okay? Beggars can't be choosy. So I don't want anybody to lose perspective on this, all right? Having said all of that, let me say this. I would prefer that the season resume earlier and end earlier. I have always, and Max and I disagreed with this weeks ago, I have always been an adversary of the NBA going into the NFL season. I think at the latest it should end by mid-September, like the first or second week of the NFL season. That's my personal belief, and I think that I would prefer that rather than start in late July, that it started in early July so we could get through August and the season could end. Here's where I really get up in a tizzy, tantamount to what I did with Jalen yesterday. And Jalen, I'm sorry, I had a couple of appointments that I needed to make on a family level. Otherwise, I would have called into Jalen and Jacoby to get on you.
Anytime.
I still owe that your show a call.
Both of you guys.
I'm calling. I'm telling you right now. There's a problem. You and I got to have this discussion. Let me tell y'all something right now. And Max, get that smirk off your face because you know where I'm going. Max, get that smirk off your face for right now, Max. Get that smirk off your face. Let me tell y'all something. All of this stuff. Oh, let me bring the home court to Orlando. Extra fouls.
I knew you was going to say something about that.
Stop it. And all of this gimmicky nonsense. What the hell is going on? I mean, we got Dear Abby running the sport or something. What's going on? What's going on? They better not do this stuff. Look, I am a proponent of this. You take the tag, the emblem that you put at midcourt or whatever, and plaster it on the damn midcourt. And get one of them what is it made of, rubber or plaster? Just plaster it at midcourt. All right, that's a home team. Let's play basketball. What's all of this nonsense going on here? We got to modify rules and engage in gimmickry. Y'all had off a couple of months. You're professional athletes. You're still getting paid. We haven't been playing. We got to resume the damn sport, probably without fans in attendance. Get your behind on the damn court and play basketball. If you gonna play. All of this bringing courts into Orlando and all. Stop! We don't need all of that. That's additional people working, by the way, which just debunks the whole social distancing issue and talk about safety, which is supposed to be our primary concern. Look, just get on the court and play if that's what you go do. All of this gimmick stuff and looking for an advantage, we got to take care of the team that had the best record. Stop! It's an aberration. History, we all know what's happened here with this pandemic. Just ball.
Well, I think there are things you can do to help the home team choose hotels, whatever it is. Why not? They should have some advantage if they have the better record in the regular season.
Okay,
I have no problem with the NBA's timeline per se. I don't have, end of October 12th, whatever. I don't think any consideration should be given to going into the NFL season. NBA fans will watch basketball. And a lot of NBA fans are also NFL fans. They'll also watch football. And there's a huge pent-up demand for sports anyway, one would imagine. Given if our own personal lives are in any indication and people we know, there's huge pent-up demand for sports. I don't think the NBA needs to be shook about playing into the NFL season at all. I don't think that should be a consideration. Now, the idea that maybe they want to get through this thing relatively quickly is because of coronavirus, not the NFL, coronavirus. That's the whole thing. Look, coronavirus doesn't care about your politics, and doesn't care about what, your financial interests. It just is. It does what it does. So those things, first of all, there's supposed to be a second wave in the summer. They thought originally in the colder months, but because of easing of social distancing restrictions, or of restrictions that give us social distancing, they're expecting a second wave to come this summer. Then another bigger wave in the colder months. Now you add to that the fact that the president walks around without a mask, signaling to people who for some reason think that's how to model behavior, that they shouldn't wear masks, and there's protest wearing masks, which is beyond idiotic. I wish there was a word. And then I hate to tell you, but the protests also, again, a pandemic, a virus, does not care if your cause is just socially or politically. these protests, there's no way it's not spreading the virus. There's no way there's not going to be an increase because there are a lot of people in sharing a space. So when you take these factors into consideration, there's likely to be not only a second wave in the summer, but then another bigger one in the colder months. And that's the reason for the NFL to move with alacrity, to have a schedule that ends as soon as possible. I think October 12th actually ain't that bad. I think that's pretty aggressive. But to me, it has nothing to do with competing against the NFL. I think the NBA should do what the NBA needs to do without regard to that.
It's really important that everyone try their best to stay safe right now because Max is right. In another 2 to 3 weeks, there will be another wave, which is why I like the NBA's timeline of starting in August because it gives you a few weeks for these waves to actually happen and calm themselves down. Stephen A., we just disagree on numbers. I know you want to see the best 16 teams get right into it and play basketball, but you got to remember something. They hope to finish the regular season so they can get that regular season television money from the local markets, but also you're going to need those 16 teams to actually have opponents scheduled so they can get ready for the actual playoffs when they start, almost like guinea pigs. That's why I felt like at least 20 teams should go. So now that you take 22, this is where I upset you. Yes, Stephen A., the 9th-seeded Washington Wizards with 24 wins and the Phoenix Suns with 26 wins will fall within the 7 and the 11 teams or 10 teams that will be involved in a play-in. And if you're one of those top seeds, like the Bucks, the Lakers, the Clippers, or the Raptors, if and when you get a chance to play those squads, that's why the NBA has a 7-game series. Unlike